Hello students, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today is the fifth video of this chapter, reflection. So we will discuss, I think in the previous videos we have discussed about the laws of reflection and the important terms related to reflection and diffused and normal reflection, regular reflection. So in this video we are going to discuss how an image is formed by a mirror. Yes, how an image is formed by a mirror. Now the thing is that before going into a topic, how an image is formed by a reflection, you have to know two types of images are formed. There are two types of images. Actually, there are two types of object. An image is formed by an object. Suppose I have a mirror, and this is the person who is standing in front of the mirror. This we consider this as the object, and he can see himself inside the mirror, something like this. He can see himself. Okay, I'm drawing with a dotted line. So this, the one he can see himself inside the mirror, that we consider that as the image. So this is the mirror, I will say. So this is the object, and the one which he is himself seeing, that is called the image. So how this image is formed by an object, we are going to discuss, or I'm going to show you with the ray diagram how an image is formed by an object. Now before I discuss that, I need you to know there are two kinds of object. There are two types of object. Okay, the first type of object is called as point object. Point object means what? The object is like this, a point object. And the second kind of object that we have is called extended object. Okay, extended object. Extended object is something like this. Okay, my marker over here, this is a point object or extended object. Think this is a extended object. So we can have a point object. Point object, you can consider that as a small ball, and an extended object you can consider that as a pin or a rod. So we are going to find out how an image is formed by a point object, for a point object and an extended object. But also, before I start the ray diagram, you need to know the basic concepts like what is an incident ray, what is a reflected ray, what is normal. So all these things which I have already discussed in the previous lectures, you need to see those videos, and then only if you have those ideas. If you already know that those things, very good. So basically you need to have those ideas, and then you will understand today's class better. So we are going to discuss how a image is formed for a, right now we're going to discuss about the point object. Okay, so I will discuss how an image is formed for a point object. Now to draw the image for this object, the first thing that we need to draw is a mirror. So I will use this scale to draw my mirror, so to have a perfect shape. So I can say this is the line. Now see, so this is, so this line I'm considering is as the mirror. Is it correct? No, it is not correct. This is not mirror. This is just a simple line. How we'll convert this line into a mirror? By drawing a hatching, which I already told you. Hatching are these lines. When I draw these hatchings, then now it is considered as the mirror. Now by drawing the hatching, what I represented, that this side, this bottom side, is the reflecting side, and this top side is the silver side. So this hatching represents the side which I am silvering, and the opposite side, this bottom side, is the reflecting side. If you consider the mirror like my hand, so this bottom side is the reflecting side, and this top side is the silver side. Okay. Now in front of the mirror, in front of the reflecting side, I take any point, I put the point object just like this. So I put my point object just like this. Now, from the point object, I need to draw two incident rays. I need to draw two incident rays. So from the point object, I need to draw two incident rays, or I will say to draw any image, the minimum number of rays that you need is 2. You can do more than 2, but the minimum number of rays that you need to draw the image is minimum 2 you need. Okay, minimum 2. So now let's see how I'm drawing it. From the point, you draw the first incident, you draw the incident ray just like this. So, see, I have drawn the first incident ray and I put my arrow. After that, I have to draw the second incident ray. Now, how is the second incident ray? I'll draw I use the blue color to draw my second incident ray. So from here, from the same point, I draw another ray. So this is my second incident ray. Clear? Now after drawing the incident ray, don't try to draw the reflected ray. No, that's wrong. After drawing the incident rays, make sure you draw the normal. So for this, I will use this scale to draw the normal. And I know normal is an imaginary line. So that's why I will use a dotted line. Okay. So you can see I have drawn the normal for the blue line. Similarly, I will draw the normal for the red line also. So this normal is like this. So I have drawn the normals. Now, as I draw the normal, what is the advantage do I have? I get my angle of incidence. So for this first, the blue, red one, this is my angle of incidence. Suppose I consider this as I1. And for the blue one, this is my second angle of incidence, I2. Clear? Now, after drawing the normal and the incident ray, it's time for me to draw the reflected ray. So see, with the same angle of incidence, I will try to draw the reflected ray. Okay, something like this. So this is my reflected ray. And similarly, the reflected ray for the blue one will also try to draw. So the reflected ray for the blue one is something like this. Clear? Now, with this, what I got to know is the angle of refraction. So this is the R1 and this is the R2. First angle of reflection and the second angle of refraction. Now, till here you understood. Now, suppose the person's eye is over here. The person, the observer, he's seeing from this side. Now, where is the image formed? This is the object, these are the ray diagrams. Where is the image formed? That is why you need to know this concept. The image formed by a normal plane mirror is always a virtual image. The image formed by a plane mirror is a virtual image. Okay, virtual image, not a real image, virtual images. And where are the and always remember, virtual images are formed by extending the reflected ray backwards. And I will say virtual images are formed. Virtual images are formed. How? Are formed by extending the reflected ray backward. By extending the reflected ray backward. Remember these two things. Very important. Virtual images are formed by extending the reflected ray backward. Now see, this is the first reflected ray, okay, this red line. I'll extend the reflected ray backward. So how will I extend it? So I'll put the scale and draw, and that is how I extend it backward. Now a question might come that why I am drawing this ray dotted, because see, this ray is not an actual ray, this is our imaginary ray, and all the imaginary things or rays we don't draw with a bold line, rather we draw with a dotted line. So because this is how we are imagining this ray is going backward, so that is why I used a dotted line. And similarly, I'll extend this reflected ray backward. So this reflected ray, I'm extending it backward. See, similarly, dotted. And I make sure that these two rays meet each other at a particular point. Okay, I make sure that these two rays meet each other. Now let's see how they are meeting. Now this is the point you can see where the two reflected ray, when extended backward, met each other. So this is the object and this is the image. Okay. Now after this, you have to make sure you have to join these two lines. Join these two lines. And suppose from there one information I want to tell you. Suppose this is object, this is image O, and this is I, and this point I call this as M. So MO, or say OM, is what? Is the object distance, and IM, that is called the image distance. And according to mirror, this object distance has to be equal to my image distance. So OM has to be equal to the IM. My object distance is always equal to my image distance. So if this is 5 centimeter, this also has to be 5 centimeter. If this is 10 centimeter, this also has to be 10 centimeter. So this information that you need to know from this ray diagram. And how to draw the ray diagram, I think I have explained you. So after this, we have to discuss how an image is formed for a extended object, not a point object, extended object.
Now over here we take a mirror. This is the silver side with the hatching. This is the object. From the object we take a incident ray, and then after that, following the laws of reflection, we'll draw the normal and the reflected ray. After that, angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection, we know that. After that, we'll take another arbitrary incident ray from that object only and point it towards the mirror. This is the incident ray. After that, again the laws of reflection, will draw the normal and the reflected ray, and then we'll extend the two reflected rays backward with a dotted line. Now you can see the two reflected rays which are extended backward, they meet at a certain point. The point where they meet is where my image is formed, and this is the observer which is seeing the image at that point.